Today in this video we'll discuss about conversion of limited liability partnership into a private limited company. First of all, it is important to know the meaning of limited liability partnership and private limited company. So what is limited liability partnership? Limited liability partnership or LLP is a hybrid version of partnership firm and a company. It is a type of partnership firm wherein the partners enjoy limited liability and a separate legal entity. All LLPs in India are governed by Limited Liability Partnership Act 2008. Other one is private limited company. Private limited company is a form of business structure which has all characteristics of a company. However, it has a shortcoming that the shares cannot be traded freely. Now, we'll discuss about the benefits one can derive by converting LLP to private limited company. First one is preservation of brand value of LLP. So, if an LLP wants to expand its business operations, then by converting it into private limited, it can preserve the brand value of LLP without making any extra efforts. Second is carry forward of unabsorbed losses and depreciation. The LLP can carry forward its unabsorbed losses and depreciation to the private company form and can utilize the same to offset future profits of private limited company. Next one is raising of external fund. It is comparatively easy for private limited company to raise external funds from investors and financial institutions. And last one is high turnover. Private limited companies are best suited for enterprise with significant turnover and those that require more external funding to achieve their objectives. Now, in order to proceed with the conversion process, there are certain prerequisites which the limited liability partnership must adhere to. To check whether LLP has filed with its statutory returns up to date and file all LLP agreements including supplementary agreement with the ROC. All the requisite forms should bear approved status. Then the amount of contribution of each partner shall be equal to the amount of share capital of the company and there shall be no change in such amount. Apart from this, the partners of LLP shall become the shareholders of the company. And lastly, a certificate should be obtained from a professional who can be a chartered accountant or a company secretary regarding compliance of statement of accounts. Next comes the documentation requirement for conversion. So, the mandatory documents required for conversion of LLP into private limited company. Now for partners, details of the proposed shareholders and directors. Next is PAN card in the name of the LLP. After this is the ID proof of the partners that can be their driving license, passport, voter ID card, etc. Next is the latest passport size photographs of the partners. Last one is address proof of the partners that can be sale deed, bank statement or any utility bill which shall not be older than 2 months. Next, in case of LLP, duly notarized and certified LLP deed, then the copy of the latest income tax return and copy of latest audited financial statements of the company. And last one is the copy of registered address proof where the company is proposed to incorporate. Finally, we come to the process for conversion. Publish an advertisement in newspaper in the prescribed form URC2. Thus, for conversion of LLP into private limited company, the applicant is required to publish an advertisement in 2 newspapers, one in vernacular language and the other in English language, about the conversion under the Companies Act 2013. Such an advertisement shall be published in form URC2 on MCA portal. The main objective of publishing this advertisement is to inform the general public about the conversion of LLP so that any person having any objection regarding the same can file their objection within 21 days from the date of advertisement publication. After that, the next step is to obtain digital signature certificate and director identification number in respect of the proposed directors. In case the directors and shareholders do not have a DSC in their name. Then comes the name approval. The next step is to get the name approval of the proposed private limited company. For name approval, LLP is required to submit the run form with MCA. When the name is approved by MCA, the LLP would be required to complete the process of conversion within 20 days, since the name will be reserved for 20 days only. Then comes the filling of Form URC1. Thus, the applicant is required to fill Form URC1 with the Registrar of Companies to convert the LLP to a private limited company. The applicant must be careful while filling out this form to ensure that all the information such as name, address and share held by proposed shareholders is right. The applicant must also make sure that all the relevant paperwork are included. Now, for filling URC1, the following documents are required. Firstly, consent of the authorized applicant to act on behalf of the company. Then, no objection certificate received from all the creditors of LLP, duly certified statement of accounts of LLP, copy of LLP agreement, then certificate of registration of LLP. After that, copy of newspaper advertisement, list of details of all the proposed members along with their name, address and shares to be held by them, and then list of proposed directors of company along with their details such as their name, address and DIN number. Then comes the memorandum and article of association. When the applicant has received sanction of Form URC1 from the ROC, then the applicant has to draft MOA and AOA of the proposed company. Thereafter, the applicant has to submit the MOA AOA with the MCA. Last one is Certificate of Incorporation in Form INC 11. So finally, the ROC will study and examine all the documents presented, and if all of the documents are satisfactory, it will issue a Certificate of Incorporation of Private Limited Company in Form INC 11. So, this was all about conversion of LLP into private limited company. For any other query regarding the same, contact Rajput, Jain and Associates. Thank you.